fine, way too fast. Gonna have some fun while it lasts. Doing stupid shit even if it's wrong.
All right, welcome to episode 5 of the official LOL podcast. It's your boy Frankie Nuñez from my home. After Sunday's scrimmage, there was a COVID-19 exposure, and to play things safe, we're going to record this episode from home. I've still got my producers on the other line, and I'm very thankful they're here with me. The news we're going to get into today is that the Poospatuck Smokes have won the number 1 seed, and they're going to call out the Mothmen and Team Holmes. And the number 2 seed, the Neighborhood Roadies, have invoked their right to use the first game. So in game 1, you will see the Roadies versus the Drivers. In game 2, you will see the Mothmen versus the Smokes, and we'll see who makes it to game 3. In other news, I'm going to have some big interviews coming up. Joe Labo and Dan Oshea themselves. We'll get to that coming up in a minute. We'll see you then.
Fuck with me, we'll fight right here. I don't give a fuck if the girl's right there. She be looking good with the braids in her hair. And when I get her home, you know I'm gonna smash that. You know my flow is hot. You know my rhymes are fire.
All right, we're back with the LOL podcast with your boy Frankie Nuñez. Here joined live by Coach Dan Oshea himself. Dan, you happy to be here?
I'm super happy to be here. At this point, I'm just happy to be alive. But, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Dan, can you let the people at home, the fans, know where you're coming in from?
I'm coming in from the Poospatuck Reservation Hospital. If I make it out alive, they give me free cigarettes. Bad bout of COVID, but I should be playing on Saturday.
All right, well, the news just came out that the Poospatuck Smokes have challenged the Shirley Estate Mothmen and Team Holmes. Can you tell us what went into that decision-making process?
Yeah, it's no disrespect against the Mothmen. I mean, it just came down to, Team Tully, too much speed on the on that team. You can't really face them. There's too much top-level talent on the Roadies with Justin Oshea and Nick Del Monte. So I think it was a no-brainer, and it's a tradition, me calling that Holmes. So
yeah, this rivalry's gone on for quite some time, a mean-spirited rivalry. And when I had Holmes on the show, he spoke a little bit about how there is no rivalry because there's no competition. Can you maybe add a little bit to that?
Well, I mean, he needs a little bit of a history lesson, I guess. I have 2 rings. None of those are with the Hall of Famer Frank. He's only got 1 as a coach. And I have more touchdowns and everything than him. I have 9 to 3. So maybe he should do some history research a little bit before he starts, yap.
All right, tell me a little bit about the decision-making process of the number 1 overall pick this year.
Well, listen, 10-year anniversary. This league started as the Dan versus Frank Bowl. So I think it kind of brings it around full circle. At the end of the day, it's a no-brainer. He's the best player in the league. Quarterback's the most important position. Frank is just the best player at that position, so it makes sense.
You go from a rivalry with Frank to start this league. It develops into a rivalry with Holmes. You've got some sort of small rivalry based on the interview I did with Matt King going with him. What is it about you and always being the rival?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. I try to be very loving, and I guess people don't like that. I don't know. It's not because of my talent. I'm old and slow, and so it's not that. I don't know. Maybe people feel threatened by me or something. I don't know. I didn't know there was a rivalry with Matt, but
Speaking of Dan Oshea and his list of enemies, obviously at the top of that list you would think is Holmes, you would think is Frank, but it's actually Ken Silver. Can you speak a little bit about these words Ken Silver has for you and about the job you did last year with him and Justin on the team?
Listen, I didn't have a problem with Ken in general. I thought he's a great player and all that. We had a little bit of a miscommunication. We had game planned for Ken Silver to be well over 300 pounds. And when he came in severely underweight at, 205 or something like that, it threw off our whole offense. It
of course
sped everything up. We were looking for slow. He was fast. We also thought that he was going to have 1 hand. We thought he lost a hand in a tragic horse accident. And he had 2 hands. We had these Odell Beckham plays drawn up for him, and he comes in with 2 hands.
Unbelievable. JPP.
At the end of the day, it was my fault, but I think there was just maybe some miscommunication there. I don't know.
Let's talk a little bit about this year's team. You got guys like Kevin, you got guys like Jesus in later rounds. What are you excited about to see out of those boys?
Yeah, top to bottom, this is one of the most talent-filled teams that I've ever been on. Obviously in the two-team league, those teams were super talented, but in the four-team era, this is a very, very talent-strong team. I was super surprised to get Jesus and Dingo in those later rounds. So at the end of the day, I'm just looking forward to being on the sidelines and not having to actually play football and just watching them get it done.
All right, Dan, that's all the time we've got for today. I know it was brief, but we'll get you back on after what's hopefully a big win for you guys on Saturday, all right?
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for your time.
What is up, guys? It's your good old Coach Holmes. And who doesn't love a good magic trick? Here, let me show you. I made that whole bottle of core vodka just disappear. If you're anything like me, you like your vodka cheap and easy, just how I like my women. So drink Core Vodka, an official sponsor of the LOL podcast.
All right, we're back here, the official LOL podcast. I'm here joined by Joe Labazetta, one of the greatest centers of all time. Joe, are you happy to be on the show?
Thank you guys for having me this evening. Love y'all.
Joe, this is your second year on Team Tully, the Biltmore Drivers. What does a coach like Colin bring to the table, and why do you love playing for him?
Colin Tully, the first thing that comes to mind is Freak Show. And Freak Show is what I like.
Of course. You've played on a lot of great teams. You're a five-time champion. You're one of the greatest winners of all time. Tell me who some of your favorite teammates through the course of your career have been.
I've been dreaming and missing Team Clones. Man, for real. All jokes aside, I do miss my brother. I do miss playing with him. I like how the league's been going. I feel like everything's fair, everything's spread. What sucks is, making time coming out to practice and being with my brothers as much. But I feel like I miss being on Clones' team. And I want to play with Justin one day. I would like to be on fucking the neighborhood roadies. I am the neighborhood king. I am neighborhood road. That's me.
Do you miss being on a team with Mr. Nino?
Yeah, I think about that kid every day. I would give my check to not eat for him to come play with us. I would.
I would too. Is it true that you're the godfather of John A.'s yet-to-be-born son?
No. I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna treat him and his son as if such, but that titles don't mean nothing to me.
Do you have the real story on what happened to Lorenzo Labazetta's hand before last year's game day?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when we start our games, it's always a new year, and on New Year's, people's jaws got to get broke on New Year's. Listen, it comes with the street tax, so it is what it is. Renzo is a certified jaw checker. He's you can see his performance on the field. He just stole. He's a demon. So you're gonna roll the dice with a demon, and that's what you get. You're gonna get a broken hand kid. You're gonna get a shake and bake kid. Or
This year you get to play with your childhood friend Ray Sullivan. What kind of heartwarming memories does that bring for you?
Listen, I remember being in third grade with Ray Sullivan. Me and Ray Sullivan go back. Not only have we hoisted rugby trophies together, we hoisted street trophies with each other as well. I love that kid, and I can't wait to hoist the trophy again this year. It's going to be another washout, so you guys can add whatever type of fitness, whatever type of regimen. It's still going to be the same outcome as it was last year. Minus Frank. And Frank I dream of. He's, he look at him. Just look at him. My man's a star. He's the one that put me on. And you see how many rings I got, but I ain't bragging. And now look at my draft. Look how I'm drafted. Look where I'm at. But listen, don't let the fitness do the talking. Let the team, let the voice, let the defense, let that be heard. It's not about how much you weigh, how much you lift, or how many mountains you climb. It matters on what you come through on game day and do.
Of course.
You already know, bro. Listen, bro. That's it.
All right, that's all the time we got for Joe Labo, one of my favorite players ever. Joe, hopefully we can get you on after game day, and hopefully you guys come home with the championship.
I love you guys. Happy New Year's. Thanks for having me on.
All right, keep it real.
Heard him talking on the block till I fucking shot him. Told my boys, don't worry, I already got him. They in pieces at the lake, floating on the bottom. I'm crowned the king, that's why you.
All right, we're back with the last segment of the official LOL podcast. It's your boy, Frankie Nuñez. And we're only a couple days away from game day, January 15th. It's right around the corner. We've all been looking forward to it. It's here. What you can expect is to be very, very cold. We're talking about maybe 3 degrees. Dress warm. You're going to be very miserable. Now, what we're going to see on the field, noon, 12 o'clock kickoff, is the Biltmore Drivers against the Neighborhood Roadies. That means Colin Tully versus Nick Del Monte in potential quarterback matchup. 2 guys that can take off with their legs and attack the field deep. You're going to see Ian Tully versus Justin Oshea out on the boundary. You're going to see Ken Silver versus Joe Labo at center, the 2 best centers of all time. Should be a great matchup. In the second round matchup, you'll see the Poospatuck Smokes against the Mothmen, Holmes versus Dan, the age-old rivalry. We'll see it go one more time. That means Frank Samisa versus Lorenzo, the premier quarterbacks in the league. You're going to see zone defense versus man defense. You're going to see a lot of different things thrown with those 2 teams. We're looking forward to Saturday. We're looking forward to another year in the books of LOL football, the 10th year. And the podcast isn't over. You'll see a few more episodes of the podcast after game day, so we look forward to having you back. And we'll know who the champion is next time you tune in. All right, everybody, have a great night, and thanks for joining us.
This beat's retarded.